Guys, welcome to today's short video. I'm sorry that this is going to be in a video format, but the video is vertical. I had to think about that. I shouldn't have to, but I did. If I sound tired, it's because I am. Just got back from camp or Super Summer. And I had ordered this package before Super Summer, and I'm like, oh, it's going to get here during Super Summer, and it did. And this contains some of the basic stuff from Wired Watts to start the pixel tree that I'm doing this year. All like the metal pieces and all that would be different, but anyway, all the metal pieces we aren't ordering those from Wired Watts. We'll get them like at like the Home Depot, and we'll build ourselves because it's way cheaper that way to do it. But we're gonna go ahead and unbox this. So let's do that. So as you can see here, got a bunch of pixels. We should have some more stuff in this box as well. Yep, there it is. So I'm going to go ahead and get all this out, and we'll also set it up in this video. So this will be sort of a longer video, which is another reason why I'm sorry it's going to be a vertical for you guys, because it's just harder for you guys to see. But it's way easier, the editing process, for me to use the app that I'm using right now and record a vertical video than it is for me to record on a different camera and then have to edit it in my normal editing software, because the 4th of July video is going to take me a while, so this is just easier. So we'll start off. This here is power cord. We'll need that. These here are all the pixels you can see. Now, I was debating whether I should make a full video for like setting this up, but I'm just going to do it in this video. It's just going to be vertical. Once again, I'm sorry. So I kind of don't like that they put them all together in the box. I mean, it's kind of nice, but it's annoying at the same time. Alright, pixels are out of the way. Now we're going to get to this stuff. So this right here is a 12 volt to 5 volt converter, which I may need. I ordered it in case I needed it for my differential controller, since I have a 12 volt power supply and I wanted to use 5 volt pixels for the Mega Tree, just because they're slightly cheaper. Now it might require more power injection, but that's okay. So instead of running this off the 12 volt power supply, I got this, which I'll open up so you guys can see. I got this power supply, which means I shouldn't have to use this, but I got this just in case I need to use it for something. Just because it's helpful, and if I ever need it, I don't have to buy it. I just know I have it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and try and get this wired up and set up, sort of, to the original controller, and then with the differential controller, just so we can see how everything works, figure out how much power injection we'll actually need for these. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm not going to record the whole thing, but I'll set part of it up and then give you guys an update. So I may have accidentally reversed the polarity of the way it was supposed to be in the power supply, so now the power supply is bad. Luckily we have that converter, so I'm going to use that, and that should work. And if it doesn't, we're going to have problems. Luckily I was quick enough to I'm like, okay. My dad even double checked. He told me which wires it were, and I still plugged it in wrong. My brain's just not working after Super Summer. Anyway, we're going to use the converter and hook that up. That's going to be a pain because the power supply is in the box, which has a cover over it for the controller to go on top of. And okay, so it's currently the next day. I just got done with Taekwondo, my third driver's ed lesson. I'm trying to get this board working, the differential receiver, and the testing works, but I can't get it to work with X-Lights or testing mode in the FPP on my computer. So I keep saying FPP, I should call it Falcon Player. So I'm going to figure that out. But on top of that, there's these pixels. These strands right here, those right there, and this one, that one should be fine, are all don't work. So the color currently is supposed to be that like that green, which it sort of is. But if I go ahead and change this to like a blue, let's say, it's still green. If I unplug it and plug it back in, you'll see what I mean. If I go ahead and plug these back in, you'll see not all of them are even lighting up. So it's effective. And that's not what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like... Okay, well, I was going to show you what it's supposed to look like, but these ones are also messed up. Here's a better example. They slowly light up. bit by bit. And I think I'm gonna try plugging them in all the way. Maybe they just aren't getting the right amount of data. Like, it looks like they're getting power, they just aren't receiving what they're supposed to. That or the part of the batch that I got was defective, because some of the strands work up there, but then there's 4 that don't work and 3 that do of the 7 that I ordered. So I just want to double check. I plugged it in with a different end, as you can see, and they still aren't working. So I ruined the power supply, and I don't know if it's actually ruined or not. It looks kind of like weird, not like puffy or anything like you'd think of, but there's some stuff that like just look weird. There's this weird white puff. There's this little like brown, looks like a fiber thing sticking out of some of the capacitors. Like they sort of exploded, but they are actually like, they don't look blown up. Other than that, point is, I'm not gonna try it even though I fixed the polarity. I'm still not gonna try it because the board's broken now. Because it was a DC board, and AC is capable of doing back and forth, but DC is one way. So I'm going to attempt to return these back to wired watts. Luckily, I haven't even untangled them from the thing yet. I've just plugged them in to test them. And yes, I have tried using like X-Lights and stuff to get them fixed, and it's still not working the best. I'm going to focus on getting this fixed, or not fixed, getting this set up if I can figure it out. Return these, potentially get a new power supply. Hopefully I can get refunded for these and buy new ones. I think when you send them back, you can, according to when I was looking at on their exchange policy, I should be able to return these and potentially get new ones ordered once these get returned, instead of having to return them, then wait, then order them, you know? I just thought about it. It's even worse that these aren't even in testing mode, so these shouldn't even be on. So, I know it wasn't testing mode in the last clip, but I turned testing mode off. Oh my gosh, these are hot. I don't think that's a good thing. Like, very hot. Like, this entire side here is, like, gonna hurt my... It's literally hot enough. If I leave my hand on any longer than pretty much right where it's at right now, it's gonna, like, make my hand hurt. I don't know why they're doing this. I'm gonna try and look it up and figure it out. But for now, I'm gonna unplug them, and maybe they aren't defective. Maybe it's just me, but my gosh, are they getting hot. Mind you, these have only been plugged in like 10 minutes since I came up here. Maybe even less than that. So the fact that they're this hot kind of scares me. It scares me even more. The ones that are off are the ones that are the hottest. This entire section and this section are the hottest. Actually, some of these aren't that hot. But like these right here are the hottest. And it's mostly like by where the bulb is. But that's weird because they're not on. I don't like that the power supply fan just turned on, because that never turns on unless I have like more than like 6 or 7 strands of pixels plugged in. This is like not normal. You guys can see it there. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna try and figure it out quickly though. Okay, I do think the fan is just on because it's on. The power supply is not that hot. Maybe it's sending most of the electricity through here, but it should be able to regulate it the way it's supposed to, not just keep sending energy through. Like I said, if these are defective, then I don't know how they exactly work. I'm going to try and look it up and see if I can find a solution. So I'm going to actually stop talking now. I double checked though. These should officially not be on. It does, you know, like when you get new pixels in a box, if you've ever messed with light show stuff and you bought pixels, you know it smells, it's kind of like a nostalgic smell to get it a bunch every time you get new pixels. I'm starting to really smell that, which is, it's not because it's burning. Geez, even the cables are getting warm. But I am going to actually unplug this just because... Okay, that scares me. I didn't record it. The second I unplugged these, the fan immediately turned off. Let me see if it turns back. Okay, so the fan's still off. See how long it takes to turn on. And I said I was going to unplug these. I'm going to leave them plugged in just a minute, but I am going to really watch it, make sure they're fine. If I break these, I can't return them, so I'm not planning on actually leaving these plugged in any longer than another minute or two. But, these should have a warranty on them if they're broken, so if I break them, I don't think it's really my fault, but I still don't want to break them more than they already are. So, yeah, I'm going to unplug these now. The ones closest to the end of the power supply are the hottest. And, like, the pins and stuff aren't hot, but then you get down right close to right here, and right here is what's really hot. I'm going to let these cool off, because these are, like, actually hot enough to, like, not necessarily, they won't burn my hands. Like, they're not that hot, but, like, they're super hot. These should be the ones that work, so I'm just actually a quick sneak peek of an actual sequence I'm working on. I don't have it rendered, which is why it looks that weird and wacky. And I don't want it rendered because it actually has the exact model, which is the little arch right there. One of those big arches that you see there is the one I have set to this. Now that's not going to be permanent. I just have it set like that just to test the pixels, other than the testing mode that's already in Falcon Player. Okay, so the sequence didn't work. I don't really know why, but testing mode works just fine on these pixels. Because these are actually good ones. These are the bad ones. I'm going to pile all the bad ones in a separate section. I don't know if I have to send all the pixels back or what, because these all work fine. Like, I've checked all of these. They work fine. But 3 more of those strands that you see right there don't work. I just realized the problem. It is a really dumb way for me to not do something correctly. I forgot what kind of pixels I ordered. "5-volt ones. I'm using it on a 12-volt power supply. So this is 12 volt, right? I got these to be plugged into this, which goes through this, basically takes 12 volts and makes it 5 volts for that. Which means that potentially the ones that are hot was because it was sending too much power through. I know, I feel stupid, but I hope they still work. I'm going to try good strand and bad strand and try and figure this out now. Basically, everything wrong I've done today involves power, and I can't even find the... As I say that, I just see it laying on the floor. It's every time I can't find something, I'll literally just, like, forget about it, and then, just be like, oh, okay, this is a lost cause, and I'll just look someplace random and immediately see it. Like, how does that make sense? Okay, now I did connect the ones that were hot, because I plugged them into the wrong power supply, into here, and they do work. They're still just as effective. They look slightly better, but they're still not great. They should be cycling sort of like this. Like that. That's what they should look like. Now, I am using 12 pixels with a 5-volt converter, like I said. And so those aren't meant to be plugged in. That's why they look way dimmer. Hopefully that will ruin those pixels. So basically, this entire video is basically just me messing up things. This strand, I didn't even use this one yet. This is the one I've been using for all the testing. This and this. It's the same strands I've been using because obviously I don't want to break the other ones. I was at least smart in that case. But this one isn't working when I plug it into that one or that one. And when I tested all these pixels, they were all plugged into that one. The only strand I've used by accident, the 12 volt, is this one. So this one should work. Even though it's defective, this was working earlier. And now it doesn't. I don't know if I can even get a refund for any of these at this point because this one actually still works. I potentially overvolted that one, even though it still works. And this one doesn't work, and that's not even my fault. It just stopped working, but I don't know. We'll see. Don't know if I've mentioned this, but Wired Watt's office isn't even closed. It's the 12th, and they're closed the 11th all the way to the 21st. I don't know why. I don't think it's a holiday, but I'm going to try and get this working and actually stop talking, even though I said that like 3 times. But we'll see if they get them working. These ones are different, and they at least have a better color. Look at, okay, this is kind of weird. Part of these are actually working, which I guess is good, but also bad. These other ones shouldn't be white. They should be multicolored. And I can't even tell if they're trying to be or if they're just white. But that's kind of interesting to see. This strand has the same thing as this strand. I don't know if I tested these pixels. These just don't work. Those are the ones that partly work. These ones just go haywire. That one doesn't work. These other ones should work, but I'm gonna double check and test them. 3 work. 4 of them are defective or just don't work entirely. These 2 work partly. That one doesn't work at all. This one is just haywire. The other 3 work fine, and that's 12-volt pixels, so that doesn't count. I've had those. Now, this controller still says it's testing, even though it's not. I plugged it in and it's not working. Which could either mean it's just being weird, not testing, which it does sometimes. Which I'm hoping it's that, or it means that it completely made the port not want to work. But I think that's not what it is, because I have a specific model set to test right now. I think that's what it's trying to go for still, which is what it's made to do. So we'll find out. I found out how to turn the testing mode off in the differential receiver, so we're one step closer to figuring out how this actually works. Let's see if this works now. Oh my gosh. I used the matrix model, which covers as many ports as it can. As you can see here, each strand is literally on a port, and no, I don't actually have this many ports. That's why most of them are red. So if it's on any one of these 12 inputs, like it shows there's 12 inputs right here, and there's a line on each of them, at least if it's not the right port, we know it's not. But since nothing's working, that makes me just think that it's not actually sending anything to this controller. So I successfully got them communicating, and yes, I did plug them into the right ports where they're supposed to be. I'll see a very slight delay every now and then. If you look closely, you might be able to... Actually, now it looks like perfect. I saw one a second ago. I switched around the Ethernet cables, and this white one, it's the one that came with our Linksys router, but my dad doesn't use it because we have another one for it. Works with it for some reason, and the other one didn't, but this is working for the internet, so yeah. And by the way, when I plug into my computer, it's basically just mirroring what network my computer is connected to. And it also makes it way faster, because even if it's not connected to an internet, it still has an IP address, and I can still access it only to this computer though, because that's what it's plugged into. I'm gonna try and figure out why the sequences aren't running on here though, because if I try and play this, and you can see there's stuff happening, but nothing's happening here, even on this controller. I think it just has the wrong protocol that I keep saving it to. I keep saving it to DDP, when in the Falcon player it says it's set to E131, so I changed it in Xlight. Let's see if it worked. It didn't work. Okay. I'll show you guys in a second. I just got that strand successfully working. I just mess around with it and make sure it was set to the right thing, because Xlights, although it sends its output to the controller to save the right thing, the controller didn't change, and it was supposed to be set to E131, and it was set to ArtNet, even though the output it was sending was E131. I don't really know, but I got it fixed. It's all that matters. Now, it did just work. I think it's just a matter of how fast it's sending over the data, so I'm actually going to try a long sequence and see if it works. Now, I did notice it just turned off, but the second I hit output to lights, like right now, you see that little green light that just turned on?
Where is Izzy?
That's how I tell it's sending something, but when I go ahead and play this, it doesn't happen. Now, I just had it to work, so I know it doesn't work. I had it working, so I know it works. I just have to figure out why it doesn't want to work now. Okay, I realized I had the wrong thing saved. Let's see if this works now. It should upload. Yep, it did. Still not. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So it is just a matter of data. But I turn it off, it shuts off immediately. So I'll tell you when I turn it on here. So play. 2, 3. So it's a little late in the delay, but it's working. So that's good. I'm going to test this in the line with the other pixels. I just have to make a custom model for this. That way I can actually knows that there's more pixels than just one strand. Yes, I will test this with the multicolor sequence, but you can see the pixel power or the pixel color already changes, and there's a few that are slightly different, like this green one here. Then it goes to orange, and then green, which I think is not what it's supposed to be. So you can still see they're still messed up, but at least we know that they do work. So if you're watching this Wired Watch, the ones I'm sending back there are defective. That one just didn't work when it came. I have not tried that one. But these 3 are defective, and that one doesn't work. Those are the ones I'm sending back. These other 3 I'm keeping. Hopefully I can get new pixels to replace these. We'll see. If their office is actually ever open when something actually breaks, that... Now with that is probably the end of this video. Just because I have to order new pixels, it's going to take me a while, and I'll probably make a separate video on it, depending on how long it takes me to get the 4th of July video done. I'm making one for Super Summer, although I can't put... There's tons of really good pictures, and I can't put all of them, because I don't want to put everyone's face in and deal with blurring them. And then I also do voiceovers and everything. I still have to finish the 4th of July video, so... There's like 3 videos I have to get out, which is why I'll record this one at a later date. Probably after I order the pixels and resolve it, which will be like at least a week away. Well, a little less than a week. But point is, actually I think it will be exactly a week. Anyway, whatever. Point is, that'll be a separate video, and I'll probably make it not a short form video. So, and yes, I will get a new power supply. I'll probably order a box with it just so I can set it up and actually have an actual setup. And not one that looks like this. So, with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned on my vlog channel. That should be the next channel with a video coming out. Hopefully the 4th of July video, if my editing goes well, which it should. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.